America's #1 rally driver Ken Block was on the shores of the UK last week to promote the release of a new computer game.
It was just such a huge honor for me that they even asked me to come and help and be a part of the game. So, you know, it's been a couple of years now of helping them develop and promote the game, and that's why I'm here in lovely sunny London.
Famous the world over for his gymkhana skills, Ken was itching to get behind the wheel of his old WRC spec Ford Focus and turn this iconic London landmark into his very own playground.
I didn't really know this place existed till 4 or 5 years ago. We talked about doing a promo event here for many years, just because we thought that the background and everything about it would be very dramatic. So I'm stoked. It's an amazing landmark. It's a beautiful site, and it's actually got a good amount of area here with some tarmac for us to play on.
Having made the step up from national to world level rallying, Ken is under no illusion that this is a massive challenge, and now in his second season with the WRC, he's learning from every experience that comes his way.
The toughest part really for me is, you know, coming from a country that there is no, or there's virtually no two-pass recce, so I've had to adjust and make my notes a lot better in a short amount of time coming into the WRC. You know, slowly building up speed's actually been the funnest part, and I feel like I've done that pretty well, and, you know, I was quicker, you know, in the beginning than I really even imagined I would be. So now it's just a matter of putting all that together and just trying to have some good, clean events. But I've really, truly enjoyed it, you know. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life, but I absolutely love racing the WRC.
Ken's 2011 campaign has been plagued with teething problems, including seeing him miss out on the Guanajuato street stage in Mexico, where thousands of fans flocked to see their hero in action.
So much, you know, sort of bad luck has happened in these past couple events. I've had a lot of, you know, little incidents, you know, that are just part of learning. I've had a lot of mechanical issues. So that's probably the most disappointing thing for me, is that I haven't really gotten a good, clean event where I can really push.
The Portugal shakedown stage saw the American have his biggest crash of his rallying career. But once again, Ken knows he has to take it all in his stride and roll with the punches.
You know, everything up until that point had gone so well, and the times in shakedown were actually, you know, fairly quick, you know, so I was pretty happy about where we were, and all of a sudden I went from happy to very mad. That crash was pretty much the worst crash I've ever had in my career. No matter what, if you're in this sport, at some point you're going to have a big crash, and so now I have mine. Overall, we're fine, you know, really considering how big and gnarly that crash was. Really shows how well these cars are built and how well all the specifications that the FIA puts on the manufacturers as far as safety is really paying off as far as keeping us safe. So that's something I was, you know, obviously very, very happy about, you know, having that massive of an accident and being able to walk away.
Back in London, Ken was joined by Mini's very own Chris Meek and fellow Ford WRC driver Mikko Hirvonen, who got his first taste of gymkhana action.
It's really good fun. Like, I never really have a chance to just mess around and do donuts and, you know, slide between concrete and trash cans and all that. So, you know, it was really enjoyable. It's actually pretty good fun to just have a massive slide and try to make it fit in a gap like that, fully sideways. You know, who knows if I really get into it someday.
When you're driving competitively in the World Rally Championship, you're always limiting your desire to slide a car. You know, when you're sliding nowadays, you're necessarily not going forward, you're not fast, but here the secret's to go sideways if possible, to keep the foot down. So yeah, it'd be fun to do it, and maybe sometime we'll team up with Ken and do a dual gymkhana.
Block season gets back underway on the gravel stages of Cordoba in Argentina, and as ever, he's very realistic for the rest of the season ahead.
I've never raced there, I've never even been in the country, so definitely going to be a learning experience, and it's a very tough rally. So I'm going to go there and try and be as quick as I can, but also I need the stage mileage, I need the experience in the car. So I'm going to do my best at that event to be fairly quick, but also I've got to have some good, clean finishes this year. So kind of starting over at square one at Argentina. I don't think a podium's really realistic for another year or two. It's just, I just don't have the experience. I just hung out with Marcus Gronholm at, the rallycross in America, and he even said, it took him 10 years at Finland, his home event, to get to the top level of the podium. So that's just what's, customary, and what's the sort of experience that it takes to really be that competitive as a normal human, not Sebastian Loeb, to be that competitive at the top level of the WRC.
Unfortunately, we won't be seeing Ken Block in Sardinia, but the American certainly would have appreciated Chris Atkinson's spectacular effort over the famous Monte Lerno jump back in 2006.
And 5 left, and long 6 right, slow, then very long 3 left, and left 60.
We had a big jump, so we took it a little bit easy. I think I went down 1 gear, but maybe I should have gone down 2. And because it's so steep, you think it wouldn't make much difference a few K an hour, but the difference between jumping this high and 3 meters is maybe only 5 or so K an hour. And that time I was pretty surprised. I thought this is a nice view up here, but I was wondering where we were going to land. That was the main thing. I turned the wheels and I knew there was a corner coming up, and as it happened, we landed on the nose and went around the corner, no problem.
And Chris isn't the only driver to have flown over this jump over the years. If you thought they looked dramatic, then check out this effort from Serbian JWRC driver Milos Komlenovic. It may have brought an end to his rally, but the Serbian was pleased to have entertained the crowds. We can find out how the new generation of WRC cars cope with the Monte Lerno jump on day 2 of this year's Rally Sardinia.